Another dominating start last night for Edwin Jackson in Anaheim, who was not allowed to run in over 19 innings. Last month, he got win number 100 of his long career and celebrated with a big bottle of champagne. Now, the A's signed Jackson back in early June, called him up after a few weeks. Now he's wearing the 13th different uniform of his big league career. I caught up with Transaction Jackson this week. Would you like to stick around one place for long enough to buy a house?
I always feel like if it's meant to be, it'll be. I've always been a renter anyways. You know, I don't mind renting a spot out and not necessarily staying in one spot too long. I mean, I go to a spot for 3 years, and 3 years is like eternity for me. But I've got a chance to experience a lot of different series and live in a lot of different places. So I've got a chance to experience different cultures and different lifestyles of different areas of the world.
And your greatest moment of your career? Making the All-Star team, the no-hitter, or the World Series ring?
I would have to say a World Series. A lot of people that make the All-Star teams, a lot of people that throw no-hitters, but not everyone can say they have a World Series ring.
The no-hitter. It was an interesting no-hitter because you didn't have the most control that day. What's your greatest memory of that?
The bullpen warming up the whole game, and everyone telling me after the game that I better have thrown it. You know, umpires looking at coaches and asking why am I still in the game. It's funny that no one realized I had a no-hitter. I didn't even realize it until about the 7th. So the whole stadium, maybe fans, but as far as player personnel, half of the people hadn't realized that I had a no-hitter just because of the 8 walks kind of overshadowed it until later in the game. Then everyone looked up like, oh, it's a no-hitter. That's why he's still in the game. So that's kind of funny when I hear those stories come about.
And the hit batsman.
Did hit a batter. I hit a batter. I want to say it was BJ. I think I hit BJ. That's my boy, too. But I think I did hit him.
You threw 140 pitches that night.
149.
149?
149.
What was left?
Everything. I still felt great. I felt like the walks, most of them were 4-pitch walks. So a lot of the walks came in within 4 pitches, so it wasn't really taxing in that aspect. And the first inning, walked the bases loaded. That was probably the only inning where I had 3 people on base. And after that, the kind of walks were just kind of sporadic. But I felt great. I felt great through the rest of the game. Finally found my fastball command in about the 6th or 7th inning to mix along with a slider that I have been able to throw for a strike.
But I just told him I'm not coming out until I give a home run or a hit. If he want to rest me the next start, he could, but I'm not coming out this game.
The fact that you're with your 13th team, Octavio Dotel, is also 13. Are you conscious of that? Would you like to have the 14th team and have that record to yourself?
It's not something that I'm chasing. It's more fun for trivia board questions. You know, how many teams have I played for? Can you name a couple of numbers that I've had? But it's not a record that I'm chasing. If it happens, it happens. If not, then I'll say I'll be on 13. But if a team wants me and it's another team, then I'll happily go. But it's not an effort to chase or break a record.
But you've brought so much success early to this rotation. Do you think the change in scenery helped your pitching, or what do you attribute to your early success here?
I have a strong team around me, mental coaches, baseball coaches. I think it's just the mind frame. You know, I have nothing to lose. Everything in the game. Once you've done everything I've done, I've been from the gates of hell to the gates of heaven and everywhere in between in baseball. I've seen it all. I've done most of it, and I'm out here having fun, man. And I think that's what it's about.
I'm gonna guess. Are you gonna go into television after baseball?
Probably not. I'll probably have to slow down talking a little bit, pronunciate my words a little better, and look into the camera. I have to do a lot of practicing in the mirror.
I don't know about that. Just do me a favor. Just don't apply to Channel 5.
Okay. I have to do a lot of practicing. In the words of Dontrell, my friend Dontrell, you know he does television. EJ, I had to do a lot of talking in the mirror to get ready for this.
And a lot of makeup.
A lot of makeup, too. I told him to look funny with powdering somebody on the skin.
Hey, man, thanks a lot.
No problem.